Hello guys, it is that panda guy and I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be going through the Boon and just 3v1 that they were kind of forced to face. I mean, there was NWO when you really think about it, but honestly NWO got kind of cut off earlier out and it was just really rough for Boon to kind of rely on them or use them as a crutch to kind of help them in this competition. So it was really rough, and Boone was getting hit by three of the other top three alliances. So it was just unfavorable for them, but I do think that Boone was very coordinated. They were very smart about everything they did, their tower builds and everything. And I will kind of go through the challenges they faced right off the bat. I also want to mention that this is going to be in three parts. I think this is probably going to be the most boring footage that you're going to find out of the three parts, but I'm still going to try to fill you guys in, kind of make it informative. You guys can just figure out what was going on with Boone, what, just like I said, challenges they face. So honestly, right off the bat, Boone had built up to a level 7 village, whatever you want to call it, and basically this was to, of course, just make sure that they could take it whenever it was opened, if they actually were able to do that, as well as kind of build towards ANCS. And this was probably to cut them off and make their competition easier, because they knew they were getting targeted right off the bat, being that they're the strongest alliance in the game. And I will say that these guys are extremely coordinated. Their player base is really even in the top end of the might spectrum, so they do have a lot who are able to just throw themselves on the field. Though in the case of having this much tier 6 and stuff on the field, they have to really be careful about overcommitting and undercommitting in fights, and just make sure that they are able to kind of maintain dominance on the field. But I will say that this gets harder the longer they're fighting, and time is not on their side, and that's the biggest issue that Boone is facing here. And I'll kind of explain. So RPG is in the bottom right corner of the map. ANCS, of course, is off to their left, right beside Boone, and H&T is above RPG. And what happens is RPG and H&T actually start building towards Boone. So the longer they wait, the bigger of a presence that, H&T and them are able to get on the field. I also want to mention that all the footage in my videos is going to be sped up and stuff, because it is a lot. I cut out so much footage. The field fighting is ongoing nonstop, and it's just insane. But, like I was saying, they were building towards Boone, and basically the further they built in, the closer people could teleport, the more support they were able to get. And then there's also the fact that if they have towers connecting to Boone's towers from multiple sides, Boone is going to have to be defending from multiple fronts, multiple alliances, all of that, besides the fact that they already have field pressure from 3 alliances, and it is a lot. And Boone is basically going to be forced to split themselves into multiple groups, one being, defending this tower, one being defending this tower, one being defending this tower, and maybe also having groups that are, holding players back or even pushing on the field. And it is really difficult, especially when, like I was saying, these towers start connecting, because then Boone is forced to focus on these other towers. They're forced to kind of split their attention and focus. And I will say, I did like how ANCS was holding mid area, H&T above, and RPG was under. And I'm pretty sure, or I'm at least thinking, that this might have been to avoid a lot of crossfire and they could take their separate fights. And basically Boone was just trying to take out all fronts, and Boone was really going ham on the field here, kind of just doing their best. And I mean, honestly, they did amazing, and they were able to build up into ANCS. And I will say that ANCS did really bad when it came to tower defense. They didn't really have good garrison captains, and that's the end of the field footage you're gonna be seeing in this video. I did cut a lot of it out because I think it's just a lot to watch, and you guys can kind of just watch the towers as I kind of explain how things went. So in the next video, you're gonna be seeing a lot of towers being hit by Boone, of course. But I really think that ANCS did a terrible job when it came to putting on proper garrison captains and stuff. And this isn't to take shots at ANCS, but it's really something they can improve on, because I would see constantly that they would have R4s, of course, which would be Jess and all of them, right, kind of fighting on the field, whereas she was swarming the rally down, and she could have just hopped into garrison, or sorry, into a flag, and just been defending it properly. And it was just really hard to see when they were making mistakes like that, and not actually putting on proper garrison captains and leaving it up to their smaller members. I also want to mention that although Boone was taking insane trades on these towers, they also weren't really time wasn't on their side. So even though they were taking insanely good trades, it still wasn't a good spot to be in, because Boone was not in this situation to where they could be fighting these alliances for long periods of time, because the longer they took, the more people that could come in. But that being said, you don't want to drain your lower alliance members out, right? You need these guys, even if they're not able to maintain field presence, you want them to be holding towers, you want them to be filling towers, you want them to just be at least meat shields of a sort, right? And I don't I don't say that as making everybody sound useless, but a lot of these players won't be useful in the field unless they're like, for example, Boon, because Boon in this case has so many balanced people, high tier 5, a lot of tier 6, and they're able to keep up enough field pressure to kind of hold off these three alliances, at least to an extent, right? And that's the problem with, like, a lot of these other alliances that haven't had enough time to grow, as well as they just don't have a ton of, as many whales, right? They aren't able to keep as much of a field presence, and a lot of these players are going to be filling just filling flags. And it's really bad when you're letting your lower member base take like 1 to 7 trades, 1 to 6 trades, whatever it might be, on a flag, because one, that demoralizes your team, as well as the fact they're not able to, like, you're just draining your lower members. Like, if you need them later on, they're not gonna be able to help because they got freaking screwed in a flag where you should have been, properly putting in garrison captains that would have made trades better for them, just for everybody, right? And this just made it a really bad situation. And you actually see Boon getting hit from multiple fronts. You see the towers starting to connect, and they're in a really bad spot. And all they can do is kind of go into defensive mode, just turtle up and try to take the best of trades as possible on these towers. And I mean, what more could they do? They kind of started losing their field presence. Blue and them came online, so they had more tier 6 players to kind of shut them down. And, like, having tier 6, of course, isn't everything, but when you consider, like, how big this battlefield is, how much these whales can just keep hopping in compared to the average player, these tier 6 players, or just these whales, are going to be so, you need them. You need them to tank on the field for you. You need them to suck up Boon's resources. You need them to kind of just shut down a lot of these members and just drain them dry, like, basically. I also will say that I didn't really see Boon get pushed back to their helipad because I actually was sleeping, and when I woke up, they kind of had been pushed back, and I think they just decided that they wanted to back up or give up on kind of fighting, at least for now, right? Because there was 0 point for them to just keep battling it out, in Island Raid, because they were just going to be taking worse and worse trades probably on these towers, especially with these tier 6 guys swarming and just rallying it nonstop. And it was not good to exhaust themselves trying to hold off on something they were going to end up burning through anyways. And that was really smart because, I'll give a little, like, teaser right here, but last day in the, like, third part of these videos, you're going to be seeing Boon do an insane pushback on just all these alliances and try to, like, just have some value, I guess, like, and just, take good trades, take good fights, and hopefully actually take, just the level 7 or level 6, whatever it might be. And, I mean, they came back and they did insane. It was insane to watch. I loved recording. I'm gonna love commentating that video for you guys, because it was insane. And I had to cut so much footage. I had it 3 times a lot of footage, and I don't know, I did a lot of editing. So I do hope you guys are enjoying this footage and all this. And I thought this might be something interesting to go through, just because I thought you guys would enjoy, just looking at this. So I do hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys enjoy the other videos. And yeah, I mean, I still got 40 seconds, but I just wanted to kind of talk about that a bit. And I mean, you guys see these trades on these towers. They're swarming it with tier 6, but it is not going well anyways. But honestly, when you're these whales, they do not care about their losses. They just want to inflict maximum damage as possible, and they want to exhaust just the average player trying to fill these towers. So it was disgusting. It was disgusting. Oh, dude, like, seeing all these tier 6 just die, like 1 to 3 trades, 1 to 10 trades on some of these is insane. All right, but that is the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and maybe I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out.